Alright, I got something for you today. I was suddenly thinking about this. You know, for something that's something we all experience, we have the worst analogies for the thing we call human life. Now, I'm not blaming people. I'm blaming the fact that it's kind of weird taking an analogy for something that's as big as reality and having to pull it from reality. It's kind of like having to take a leaf from a tree and say, well, let's show you how this leaf represents the entire tree. It might be close, but in the end, you're going to be missing some things like bark and fruits and shade and all those other really cool things that make a tree a tree. So, here's the question. Why do we compare life to a road? It might seem obvious that life is a road. It's an almost universal, culturally accepted analogy for life. The road of life, take the step. All these things say that life is like a road. But here's the question. When you stop taking steps in life, life keeps going. It's kind of like this. Whether or not you're willing to take the step, they're still being given to you. And if you're not willing to catch them, if you're not willing to take them, you're just going to get kicked in the head by these phantom steps. Kind of like walking on a piece of road that is sodomizing you every time you decide to stop. Is that fair to even think that life and a road or anything near the same? I want to say it's more like a whitewater rapid, where even if you stop paddling, you're still going, and it's not going to be someplace you want to go. In fact, I think it might even be fair to say it's almost like being in the water, because some of us don't even want to be here, and a lot of us aren't even having fun. No paddle, no boat. That's that's more than most of us get. Those are the lucky ones. So, I guess what I want to say now is I'm not sure if you know, but in the Greek Hellenistic view of reality, they kind of pictured life as this backwards carnival ride, more or less, where we only see what happened and we have no idea where we're going, which is why prophets and soothsayers were so important in Greek mythology. I guess that makes sense. In case you haven't noticed, it's raining, and cameras aren't waterproof. I'm teleporting. You see this? This is a tree. A leaf is a poor analogy for a tree, because one of those leaves will not keep me dry. Anyway, let's think for a second. I guess that makes sense. Moving forward, but looking backwards. So I have a little poem, of course, that I'm going to read out, and I think it best describes exactly what this kind of means to me. Have you ever heard a word so wise as to widen your eyes like sight to the blind? Or ever been told a thing so bold that the truth it holds could open your mind? Or seen a sign you find can't be denied like the stars and the moon had become aligned in this place and time just to reveal a message so real it changes your life? Well, you're probably looking for answers, it's true, because everyone else is trying to find them too. But if every story has a moral, then what has your life story been teaching you? The fairy tales aren't true? That even the prince isn't charming enough? That the princess is denied true love? That it makes no sense to wait on a wish that has no chance or can't exist? And if you wish upon a star, well, the chances won't get far. If you spend your whole life working hard, do you know if you'll ever see your reward? The truth is, sometimes the moral is painful and sad. Cain and Abel and Aesop fables long had told us that life could be a grim tale and that heartache can thrive where hope is not able. We all wish we can go back in time and tell the young those about what they'll find, but we never seem to care about now or about here or care to hear what young us wants now us reminded. So tell me now with all this in mind what you think of the thing I will now describe. I want to imagine yourself walking through life and stepping through all the events in your life. And as you walk, try to visualize a line like a line lying before your eyes. And as you walk, it gets more defined until you can recognize its design. What you should learn is that this path is the past because we can only know the things that have passed. And if we're all used to just knowing what used to be, I guess then we've all got our back to the future. You see, the question is if we only know what was and what is or what will even matter, because if we're all walking ahead and looking behind, if we fall in the pit, should we even mind? You can't judge a story from where it's headed, but only from what's already been read. And if all that we know is we're all going to die, no matter the ending, somebody will cry. What's happened is what matters. The last chapter means shit because you're the lead role in your personal epic, and right now you're writing the chapters still missing. The fairy tale is real, reality is mythic. So as we go on through this allegory, still looking for answers, ignoring the moral, although we may never know the true moral, at least we can hope there's one to the story. And as the tale goes, we keep getting older, and all the trials and the strides that we shoulder narrate the tale that keeps on unfolding. Right now is a chapter that's now being told. So, the long story short, all that really matters has nothing to do with happily ever after, but rather with this upon which I'll expound. What have you learned, and where are you now? The end.